related to the media player. Okay, whatever be the media player that is uh, running in the car. Suppose P1 is handling these all processes related to the media player. Suppose P3 it is a process that is handling regarding the working of AC, and P4 it may be a uh, process for automatic locking the door. Okay, and suppose P2 it is a process that is related to the brake. Now suppose if suddenly when the car is moving, suddenly an object come in front of the car. Okay, suppose the object is come in front of the car, then what is our primary motto? We need to apply the brake. Now already there is another processes are going, that is P1, P3 and P4, and if we apply the brake, the process related to that work, that is P2, it will be uh, arranged after this P1, P3 and P4 if we are considering the case of round robin scheduling. Okay, we know that in the round robin scheduling, the processes, these are scheduled as per their arrival and they are executing in their time limit. Okay, so suppose the P2 arrive, when we apply the brake, P2 arrive and already there are processes that is P1, P3 and P4. They definitely, according to round robin scheduling, P2 has to wait until the uh, time slot completion of the P1, P3 and P4. Okay, are you getting? Unless and until P1, P3 and P4, these are not going to finish their time slot execution, P2 will not be executed. So is it that is expected? What is our expectation? If suddenly there is a need of brake, the first brake should be applied, then afterwards the function regarding this AC or music player or any other player, that can be executed afterwards. But our most important is we have to apply the brake. Okay, so if this is the case, then that process is called as the critical case. That process is called as the critical process. Okay, that means the process which is the most important for that time regarding the execution. Okay, so like, okay, this is the one example. Likewise, there are many examples that there may be a suddenly we require a particular process should be executed first. That means it should have some, but according to, if we consider the cases that still we have studied, like FCFS, SJF and round robin. Okay, in all these cases, the execution, it was depends on either the arrival time, either on the their bus time or their or depends on the time slice. Okay, there was no concept of priority. So to handle such critical processes, we need a different algorithm. That's why a new algorithm comes, that is your priority based scheduling algorithm. Okay, so here we are setting the priority to each of the process, and the process which have the higher priority, that will be executed first. That is the simple concept. Okay, again there may be two types. One is the preemption, second is the non-preemption. We will consider that part. Okay, but one of the problem regarding the priority based scheduling is it the starvation. Now what is mean by the starvation? A starvation means, in this case, it may be happen that a low priority process, it may never get a chance to execute. Okay, it may be happen that it will not get a chance to for the execution. Okay, for example, suppose there are four processes P1, P2, P3 and P4, and P4 it has the lowest priority. Okay, suppose P4 it has the lowest priority. Then it may be happen that if suppose there are P1, P2, P3 and P4 are running, and suppose P1 completes its execution, P2 completes its execution, P3 completes its execution, and when the P4 will start its execution, again there process again the P1, P2, P3 are coming. ओके, P4 एक्झिक्यूट व्हायच्या आधी सपोज आणखी एक P1, P2, P3 चा एक स्लॉट परत एक्झिक्युशन साठी आला. त्या केसमध्ये काय होईल मग? देन इन दिस केस P4 which has the less priority, again it will go to the waiting state, and again P1, P2 and P3 will execute. And the scenario, it will be repeated if there is again and again this higher priority process come. So in this case, it may be possible that P4 will never get a chance to execute because of its low priority of the process. So that is the, actually this is the disadvantage. Okay, this starvation is the limitation, or it is the disadvantage of this priority based scheduling. So how to handle it, that we will see. Okay, how to handle this type of situation, that we will see. So first we will see what is the priority based scheduling. So each process, it is assigned a priority. A priority, it is a number in a range. Okay, priority means how to define the priority. So priority, it will be defined on the basis of the number, and the range for this range for this priority is the 0 to 225. That means 0, it will have the highest priority, whereas 255, it will have the lowest priority. Okay, so sometimes the question may be asked in the GATE exam, like defining the priority 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think in the 2017 there was a question on the there was a question from this priority based scheduling, and in that question they have taken the process P1 as the 0 priority. Okay, so always remember that 0, it is the highest order priority. Okay, priority, it is the smaller number, means it has the highest priority. Okay, so from that point of view, the 0, it will have the highest priority, and 255, it will have the lowest priority. Then scheduling policy, pick the process in the ready queue having the highest priority. Okay, scheduler, it is defining the scheduling policy as pick up the process in the ready queue which has the highest priority. That process it will select and it will schedule. Now, what is the advantage? Advantage is it is a mechanism to provide relative importance to the process. Okay, process which should be executed first, or which is it's a necessity of the time to execute that particular process. Then this mechanism will help to the execution of that particular process. But disadvantage, definitely it could lead to a starvation of low priority processes, and it may be happen that low priority processes may not be get executed. Now, how to deal with this starvation? How to dealing with the starvation? How to handle this starvation? So the starvation, it can be handled by the different techniques. The scheduler adjusts priority of the processes to ensure that this all process should be executed. Okay, from the processor point of view or from the system point of view, all processes should be executed. Either it may be a higher priority or it may be a lower priority. So it adjusts the priority of processes so that all process can be executed. So it uses different techniques for that purpose. So first, it gives every process a base priority. Okay, every process, it defines a base priority. Base priority, that means the priority, it is defined at that particular time. For example, process P1, it may have the base priority as a 1. Process P2, it may have the base priority as 2, and like that. It is first defined the base priority to the each processes. Now, after every time slot that is incremented, the priority of all other process the priority of all process, it may be, this ensure that okay. So it may be happen that after the time period, okay, after the time slot, the priority of the process can be changed. Can be changed means, if the suppose the process it have the low priority, then the priority of that low processes or low priority process, it can be incremented so that they can chance to the execution purpose. काय करतो आपण की सपोज एखादी लो प्रायोरिटी प्रोसेस असेल, काही सिस्टम मध्ये डिफरंट टाईपच्या प्रोसेस आहेत आणि त्यामध्ये लो प्रायोरिटी प्रोसेस असेल आणि एक्झिक्युशन स्टार्ट झालं, आणि एक्झिक्युशन स्टार्ट झाल्यानंतर after some time slot the priority of either the some processor of each process, it can be redefined means it can be increasing. Suppose एखादी lower priority process असेल तर त्या lower priority process ची priority increase केली जाते, so that increase, because of that increased priority, this process may get the chance for the execution. This process is called as the aging. Okay, this the question, it is the MCQ question. What is aging as well as what is the starvation? So aging means the priority of the process is increment after some time slot so that it can be executed uh, it can be executed as compared to the higher priority process. म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल सपोज P4 प्रोसेस असेल आणि त्याची प्रायोरिटी मी इन्क्रीमेंट करत नेले, P1 एक्झिक्यूट झालं, त्याची प्रायोरिटी इन्क्रीमेंट केली, P2 एक्झिक्यूट झालं, P4 ची वाढवली, P3 एक्झिक्यूट झालं, परत त्याची प्रायोरिटी वाढवली. मग समजा P4 ची प्रायोरिटी मी वाढवत 1 किंवा 0 ला आणली, आणि त्यावेळेस जेव्हा नंतर P1 P2 P3 चा सेट परत एंटर होईल, तर त्यावेळेस P4 ची प्रायोरिटी ह्या अदर 3 पेक्षा जास्त पाहिजे. Okay, so that it will get chance for the execution purpose. So this process, this incrementing the priority of the process is called as the aging. So there are two types of priorities. One is the static priority, second is the dynamic priority. Static priority, it is set at the start of execution, and if it's not set by the user, it is the by default defined by the system. That is the base priority, and this priority is not going to be changed. Whereas in the dynamic priority, the scheduler can change the process priority during execution in order to achieve scheduling goals. Okay, that means it can either decrease the priority of the process which has the higher priority, or it can increase the priority of IO bound processes, or the process that have the lowest priority. Okay, so we'll see some example now based on this priority based scheduling. Anybody has a problem? All of you got the concept? कोणाला समजणे असं आहे का? समजलं सगळ्यांना? What is mean by priority based scheduling? Why it is required? Then what is the starvation? What are the different policies that is using for the starvation? That is aging. Is all these things clear? Then can we go for the problem solution? समजले सगळ्यांना? Okay. People are responding in the chat box. Okay. So we'll see the problem. Okay, now I will go for the textbooks problem. Okay. First I will go to the textbooks problem. Okay, so in the textbook there is a problem that the process have the 5 processes are present, the bus time is given, as well as the priority is given. Okay, we are going to solve this problem. Okay, so take the 5 processes, process P1, then process P2, then P3, P4, and P5. Okay, 5 processes are there. Burst time 10, 1, 2, 1, 5, 10, 1, 2, 1, 5, and priority 3, 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5. Okay, so this is a problem that is we're going to solve. The problem is from the textbook. Okay, so here 5 processes are given along with their burst time. Okay, this is your burst time or execution time, and this is your priority. Okay, now since your arrival time is not defined, so we can consider that the by default the time is the zero. At the zero time or at the initial level, all processes are present. Now, according to your method, the first step is the draw the Gantt chart. Now, among these 5 processes, the process which have the highest priority that should be executed first. Okay, so in this case, we can see that the lower the number, that means high is the priority. So here the lowest number is 1, that means it is the highest priority process, and it is for the process P2. So P2, it will be executed first. So P2, it will execute first. That is time slot in between 0 to 1. After that, the second highest priority process, that is the P5, having the priority 2, second highest priority. So P5, it will be executed after P2, and the burst time of the P5, it is 5. So from 1 to 6. So after P5, the highest priority, it is 3, that is setting for the P1. So P1, it will execute after the P5, having the burst time 10. So between 6 to 16, it will be executed. Next highest priority, that is P3. P3, and P3, it is having burst time 2. So in the time slot 16 to 18, it will be executed. And after that, the P4, it has the lowest priority, that is 5. It will execute. Burst time is 1, so it is 19. Okay, so this is the Gantt chart. This is the Gantt chart, which is showing how in which order the process will be executed. Now go for the calculation of turnaround time. the total we need, now we are going to calculate this turnaround time. So process P1, calculate where it is going to complete at 16. So 16 minus 0, around time 0, so it is 16. For P2, when it is completed, 1 minus 0, so turnaround time for P2 is 1. P3, it is completed at 18, so turnaround time again it is 18. 18 minus 0, it is 18. For P4, it is completing at 19, so 19 minus 0, 19. And for P5, it is completed at 6, so turnaround time for P5 it is 6. So total turnaround time 17, 35, 54, 60. Is it correct? Okay, so it is 60. So average turnaround time divided by 5, that is number of process, so it will become 10. This is the average turnaround time. Now go for the calculation of waiting time. So waiting time, turnaround time minus burst time. Turnaround time minus burst time. So turnaround time for the P1, it is 16. Burst time, it is, okay, burst time, it is 10. So 16 minus 10, it is 6. Sixteen minus 0, it is, sorry, 10, it is 6. Now for the P2, turn time 1, 1 minus 1, it is 0. Waiting time, it is 0. For P3, turn time 18 minus, what is burst time? It is 2, so it is 16. For P4, turnaround time 19 minus, what is burst time? It is 1, so waiting time it is 18. And for P5, turnaround time 6 minus P5 burst time, that is 5, so it is 1. So waiting time, calculate is 41. Divided by 5, so you will get average waiting time, that is 8.2. Now calculate response time. Response time, it is the process when it is getting allocated first. So for P1, it is allocated at 6. So 6 minus 0, that is arrival time, it is 6. P2, it is allocated at 0, arrival 0, so response time it is 0. P3, it is allocated at 16, so 16 minus 0, again it is 16. P4, it is allocated at 18, 18 minus 0, 18. And P5, first time it is getting the CPU at 1, again it is 1. So in this case, response time it is same as the waiting time, that is 41. Understood? Any difficulty? Is there any problem? All of you got the concept? Okay, then note down this. Okay, all of you note down this. Then we will go for the next problem.
एवढ्यासाठी फोन करते माझ्या लेक्चर मधलं बंद पडते परत त्याला तासभर अभ्यास बसावं जॉईन करा. मिरची आणते म्हणजे तिला काढून घेताना एवढं कळलं तुला मिरची घ्यावा.
Pratiksha, mute the sound. Okay, Pratik, I will repeat it. But other students take another example. Take 5 processes P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. Then take the burst time 6 to 175 and priority 35241. Priority 35241. Okay, solve this one. Okay, so many people are getting the answer. Okay, so we will solve this problem. Those who are not able to understand or those who have some confusion. Okay, so take the process P1, P2, P3, P4, and P5. Okay, can someone tell me the bus time? What is the bus time I have given? Is it 62175? Am I correct or
हाँ सर
okay? And priority 3. Next 5,
5 2
2,
4
4,
1
1. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So this is the problem that we are going to solve. 5 processes having burst time. This is 62175 and having the priority that is shown here. Okay. So first step, draw the Gantt chart. Then take the highest priority process first. So which process has the highest priority? That is P5. P5 that will be executed first. And what is the burst time? That is 5. So 0 to 5. Then the second process, second priority, that is P3. P3 burst time 1. So 5 to 6. The next process, third priority, that is P1. What is the burst time? For P1, it is 6. So 6 to 12. Then fourth priority, that is P4. P4 having the burst time 7. So 12 to 19. And last, that is fifth priority, P2. P2 having the burst time, that is 2. So 19 to 21. 6 to 8, 9, 16, 25. So it is total 21. Now go for the calculation of turnaround time. So for P1, what is the turnaround time? P1 complete execution at 12. So 12 minus 0, it is 12. Then for P2, it is completed at 21. So 21 minus 0, 21, it is burst time for P2. For P3, it is 6. 6 minus 0, 6. P4, it is 19. Completion time 19. So 19 minus 0, it is 19. And for P5, it is completed at 5th. So 5 minus 0, it is 5. Okay, so do the addition. 63. So this is the 63. So total waiting time, it is 63 divided by number of process, that is 5. So you will get 12.6. Okay, now calculate waiting time. So for P1, turn time 12 minus burst time 6. So waiting time it is 6. P2, 21 minus 2. 21 minus 2. So it is 19. For P3, 6 minus 1. So it is 5. Next, for P4, 19 minus 7. It is 12. And P5, 5 minus 5, it is 0. So the average waiting time 25, 30, 42. It is 42. Divided by 5 to calculate the average waiting time, you will get 8.4. Also, the same way uh, you can calculate response time also. So which is same as the waiting time. So all of you understand? Is there any problem? Okay, I think everybody is correct here. Yes. Okay. समजलं सगळ्यांना? आपण आणखी एखादं एक्झाम्पल बघूया जर असेल बुक मध्ये एखादं आणखी एक्झाम्पल असेल तर बघूया आपण. Okay, so take this some different type of example that is shown in your book. Take process P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, 5 processes. Then take the burst time as 10, 1, 2, 1, 5. 10, 1, 2, 1, 5. And priority 3, 1, 3, 4, 2. 3, 1, 3, 4, 2. आता ह्या केसमध्ये एक डिफरंट अप्रोच काय आहे की दोन प्रोसेसला सेम प्रायोरिटी आहे. ओके, P1 आणि P3 ला. जर असं असेल तर त्या केसमध्ये FCFS अप्लाय करायचं. ओके, आपण मल्टी एलो मध्ये ऍक्च्युली तो पार्ट कव्हर करणार आहे. आता ह्या केसमध्ये तुम्ही सध्याला कन्सिडर करा P1 आणि P3 ला FCFS च्या ऑर्डर मध्ये. ओके, म्हणजे प्रायोरिटी त्यांना थर्ड आहे आफ्टर फर्स्ट अँड सेकंड. द थर्ड प्रोसेस दॅट विल बी एक्झिक्युटेड इट शुड बी from P1 and P3, and among that P1 it will get the first priority, P3 it will get the second priority. FCFS मध्ये लावते. ज्या सेम प्रायोरिटी असेल त्यावेळेस त्या ठिकाणी आपण FCFS यूज करतो. ठीक आहे, ह्या केसमध्ये FCFS कन्सिडर करा. बाकीचं टोटल एक्सप्लेनेशन मी मल्टी लेवल मध्ये देईल तुम्हाला. ह्या केसमध्ये P1 आणि P3 ला FCFS मध्ये कन्सिडर करा. Okay, so answer is yes to all. Okay, some are getting different. Okay, let me solve it. So five processes, process P1, then P2, P3, P4, and P5. Then burst time 10, 1, 2, 1, 5, 10, 1, 2, 10, and 5. And priority 3, 1, 3, 4, 2. 3, 1, 3, 4. Hello, am I audible?
हाँ सर.
Okay, so five processes.
सर P4
Now,
साठी बस टाइम 1 आहे. तुम्ही 10 घेतला.
अच्छा, okay. 10, 1, 2, 1, 5. ठीक है. Okay, message everyone. Okay, now first draw the Gantt chart. Then process having the highest priority, that is P2. P2 is used first time 1, so 0 to 1. Then the second process, second highest priority, that is P5. P5, burst time 6, sorry, 5, so 1 to 6. Now, third priority is for the P1 as well as P3. And then according to FCFS, the P1, it will execute first. So, having the burst time 10, so 16. After that, P3. Okay, so P3 having the 2, so it is 18. And last, that is P4 having 1, so this is the P4 completed at 90. Now go for the calculation of turnaround time. Turnaround time for P1, that is 3 minus 0, it is 3. Oh, sorry.
सर तुमचा माईक अनम्यूट करता का?
हा हा, सॉरी. Okay. So total turnaround time, understand all this, it is 60. मला परत एकदा रिपीट करावं लागेल का? काही परत समजले?
हो नाही, रिपीट करा.
Okay. So turnaround time for P1 it is 16, completion time 16 for P1. Okay, this is 16, so 16 minus 0, it is 16. For P2, 1 minus 0, 1. P3, 18, P3, yes, it is 18 minus 0, 18. P4, it is 19 minus 0, 19. And for P5, completion at 6, so 6 minus 0, it is 6. So do the calculation, do the addition will be 60. So to calculate average waiting time, divide 60 by 5, it is 12. So 12 is the average turnaround time. Now for the waiting time, again same turnaround time minus burst time. So 16 minus 10, it is 6. 1 minus 1, it is 0. Then for P3, turnaround time 18 minus burst time 2. So it is 16. Then P4, 19 minus burst time 1. So it is 18. And P5, 6 minus 5, it is 1. So do the addition, it is 41. Divided it by 5, you will get 8.2, that is your average waiting time. And response time, P1 first allocated as 6, so it is 6. P2 allocated at 0, so it is 0. P3, it is at 16. P4, 18. And P5, it is 1. So it is same as the waiting time. Clear? Is there any doubt? सगळ्यांना समजले? Is it clear to all? Okay. Okay. So in the book, again there is one example. Okay, at the end of the chapter, books are नेटला गेल्यावर तिथं ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टीम गॅलवेन टाका आणि जे 8th एडिशन असेल 8th or 9th कोणतंही चालेल तर ते डाउनलोड करा. तर त्याच्यामध्ये चॅप्टरच्या एंडला ओके तुम्हाला एक्स्ट्रा प्रॅक्टिससाठी काही प्रॉब्लेम दिलेले आहेत. त्यातला 5.13 तो प्रॉब्लेम आपण आता सॉल्व्ह केलाय. सिमिलरली आणखी एक प्रॉब्लेम आहे तसाच, दॅट इज द problem, it is on page 222, problem number 5.17. Process P1, P2, P3, three processes are given. Arrival time 0.0, 0.4 and 1.0, that is given, and burst time it is 841. And you have to solve this example by using FCFS, by using SJF, okay, and also solve the this is the C that is given. As per also you have to solve this one. That is your homework. Okay, in the next lecture we are going to this problem. So at home you have to solve this problem. Okay, this is arrival time as well as burst time, and by using different scheduling algorithm you have to solve this. Okay, काय अडचण आहे का ह्याच्या आधीच्या प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये किंवा ह्यामध्ये? ठीक आहे. राऊंड रॉबिनचा आपण बुक मधला प्रॉब्लेम घेतला होता का लास्ट लेक्चर मध्ये? एकदा चेक करा.
नाही सर नाही घेतला.
ओके, बुक मधला प्रॉब्लेम राऊंड रॉबिन घेऊन टाकूया. आपल्याकडे अजून 10 मिनिट आहे. Okay, this is a problem in your book, round robin scheduling, and the problem is you have the process P1, P2, P3 with the burst time 24, 3 and 3. Okay, I think similar example you have solved by using the FCFS. Now solve the same example by using the round robin and take the time quantum as 4. Okay, time slot, take it as a 4 and solve this one. Process P1, P2, P3, burst time 24, 3, 3 and time slot 4. Arrival time by default it is 0. Okay, so all of you solve this problem. Many of the people have solved this problem. It's a very easy one. It is not so complex or not so hard. I'll just draw the Gantt chart and I'll keep this thing for your practice. Only 3 processes are there, I think so. P1, P2, P3. And burst time 24, 3, 3. And time star that is given is the 4. So P1 it will be executed from 0 to 4. After that P2 arrive or P2 start execution, that is 4 to 8. And not 8, okay, not 8. It is 4 to 7. And then P3 it is 7 to 10. Now P2, P3 it is all finish the task. So P1 it will take the charge until the complete execution of P1. So what is the remaining? I think from 21, 24 is here. Yes, 24, 20 is remaining. It is 30. Okay, so according to this one, turnaround time for P2 it will be 7, P3 it will be 10, and P1 it will be 30. Average 30 plus 10 plus 7. 47 by 3. Is it 47? Yes. 47 by 3, 15.66. Very simple one. Okay. So we'll stop here. Complete your homework. We'll see again in the next lecture. Okay. Give the attendance. Roll number 1. A division.
Present.
2,
Present, sir.
3,
Present, sir.
4, 5,
Present, sir.
6.
Present,
5 present or roll number 5
Yes,
is
sir.
present.
Present. 6. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Present.
7,
Present, sir.
8, 8, 9, okay, 10,
Present, sir.
11,
Present, sir.
is my voice clear now? Am I audible clearly?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay.